Hey there. I want to talk to you today about getting older. And the idea that getting older doesn't mean you necessarily become an elder. So the focus here is on aging and elders. So getting older, aging, is something that just happens to us. It happens to us biologically, physiologically. It's part of the life, birth, living, and death process. But getting older does not mean we are going to become an elder. So, what is an elder? Becoming an elder requires a certain amount of uh, earning of that title or that way of being. Becoming an elder asks something of us. So, we don't automatically get to become an elder simply because we're aging. So, let's explore what this is all about, especially from a gay perspective. So many of us learn throughout our life, a lot of it from trial and error, at least in the early days, how to survive, how to be in a world, a heteronormative world that really shows nothing to us about how to become ourselves. There's more of that available now for newer generations of folks, but there's also a huge pushback. So we learn how to survive. We learn this journey of coming out, and it looks so different for every one of us. Some of us, it's an easy transition. Others, it's just fraught with so many challenges. We make it through that. We build our lives, our careers. We get established or not. We struggle. We make gains. We move ahead, and ultimately, we find some belonging. We find connection to community. We find our tribe. We find our friends. We find our partners, or we find whatever's going to work best for us in our lives. And again, various journeys, some easier than others. We're not a monolith. We all have, our path to tread. But few of us are shown how, especially from a gay perspective, to age with purpose. So we lack this idea of having a vision of what an elder in the gay community is, or how to even become that. Certainly, there are aging gay men and elders within the community, but they're not widely known, and they're certainly not widely celebrated. And there's a reason for this, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But what becomes necessary in terms of the eldership is this thing about um, experience and life and learning and growth, moving from that into wisdom. So those experiences becoming wisdom that is shared. And not all experiences automatically become wisdom, right? So again, wisdom is something that not all of us will experience or have, but some of us do, and we're not even aware of it. So how do we move into that? Well, there's a certain thing that we need to consider as well, and that's that we grow up with a lot of pain and challenges, and then we can kind of get stuck there. Um, and that pain and those challenges that many of us have can lead to compassion and a more loving way of approaching each other in the gay world and society at large, or it can lead to bitterness. So even something as simple as our early childhood, our early adulthood, coming out, our experiences, if they were difficult and challenging, they can result in us not integrating and learning from those and being able to share our experiences in a way that are helpful to others. So elderhood begins when we ask how our lives can do that, can help and serve others. And this is a transition that some of us will go through and some of us won't. Just like not all experience is going to lead to wisdom, not everyone who's comes into this next stage of life, the autumn of life, whatever you want to call it, will move into a place of elderhood, because what that looks like for the most part is people who are ready, willing, and able to give back to serve those around them, those who are actively and perhaps not actively seeking guidance and seeking wisdom. They become mentors. They become the keepers of experience and truth, if you will. They are the guides that can lead us forward in a way that helps us to fully understand ourselves, or to understand ourselves a little bit better. And it's not about, eldership is not about having all of the answers, but it's about being able to approach our life's journeys from that place of integration, from that place of wholeness, from that place of moving forward. And elders don't have all the answers, in that they're also still learning and still growing. And from everyone that they encounter, be it younger people or be it people their own age, be it the experiences that they're having and have yet to have, those continue to be integrated into their lives. So becoming an elder means that necessarily you have an element of trust about you, that you create space for people to be themselves, that you don't judge people for where they are at. You understand, you're empathetic to their journeys, but you can use your experience and the wisdom you've accrued to help with that guidance, to help with that mentorship, to share and to care. And that's ultimately, those are ultimate traits of an elder. They don't have all the answers. They're willing to share. They can do that directly and indirectly. They provide that mentorship. And they're open to continue to learn and to grow and to explore and further integrate. And in doing so, they create those pillars, those wisdom keepers that we need as gay men, so that we can grow into that ourselves. There aren't a lot of those folks out there right now, and a lot of our the older people in our communities can often get cast aside, or maybe they're looked at with some honor and some respect. But we certainly don't celebrate our elders like we ultimately should, and we're going to change that. So, what is one quality you want others to experience in you as you grow older? So, if you're watching this and you're in the demographic of the Wisdom Trust folks, 50 plus, what is a quality you want others to experience in you as you grow older? And how can you build that quality? How can you access and build that quality and share it with others? So I invite you to share in the comments your reflections on eldership in the gay community. And if you want to explore more of this in meaningful ways, in terms of connection and meeting other gay men who are exploring these and other ideas similar to these, I invite you to join the Wisdom Trust. So we're a community, ultimately a movement of gay men over 50 who are exploring what aging looks like in the gay community, and frankly, changing the narrative and looking at community in a more focused way. So community of elders is what we're building, and you're welcome to join in. So find the links where you're watching this and reach out, comment below, and let's connect. I will talk to you soon.